Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another Cars 3 diecast review. Today, here we have the next gen RPM number 64 racer, Barry DePedal. So of course, he is one of the first looks in the next gen racers 4-pack exclusive to Target stores. It has been found in the US and Australia. Hopefully it'll show up at other stores across the world because obviously there aren't Targets in every country, just the US and Australia. This pack also includes JD McPillar and Steve Slick LePage, who I haven't already reviewed, so feel free to vote on which one you want me to review first. I definitely want to review Steve next, but ultimately it's up to you guys. I think JD will win. I already reviewed Flipped Over, so if you'd like to see my review of him, the link is in the description below. On that video, you guys voted for me to review Barry over the other two. He received like 366 votes, which ended up being only 59% of the people who voted. So it is kind of split and divided amongst all these racers. It seems like they each have a pretty big fan base. But, you know, of course, Barry wins out, majority rules. And let's just get right into the review of him. So he's a background racer in Cars 3 who comes in and replaces Bruce Miller early on in the movie, who obviously is the stock car RPM racer. And Bruce replaced Winford Bradford Rutherford, who is the RPM racer in Cars 1. So here is the legacy, the three racers that we know of, unless there was one way in the past that we may get released, because indeed we are getting the old revolting racer from the 1950s. So I wouldn't be surprised if another RPM racer showed up. But I'll throw some pictures on the screen of Barry in the movie there from the background. Just like I said, kind of one of those racers that you see in the distance, but never too up close. He does look pretty cool, and this diecast definitely looks accurate to his movie representation. So like I said earlier, he is the first look, or one of the first looks, in the next gen 4-pack, meaning that he may be re-released in the future, or he may not be. If you find this 4-pack in a store, oh man, if you don't buy it, I don't know what you're doing. If you don't even collect cars, you should buy this thing. It's so rare right now. It's going for $80 to $100 on eBay, so you should definitely buy it. And all of them are brand new. They all may never be released again, although some may be released in the future, some may not. They all may be released, they all may not. So it's really just kind of unknown at the moment. But since there is that uncertainty and they are all new, you should definitely pick it up if you see it. I have not found it. Thankfully though, my parents bought it for me on eBay for Christmas. How nice of them. So let's just get right into the review of him. We'll do a nice little kind of overview of Barry, and then we'll compare him to the previous RPM racers, since he is extremely different. So you can see that nice expression there. He looks pretty determined, fierce. He has the same model as a whole bunch of other next gens, like Steve here and Flip. We also have other ones that were previously released, like Ed Trunken. Can't forget the one and only Danny Swervez, right? Name's Danny, bruh. And H.G. Hollis there in the background. There's also Herb Kerbler, but I don't have him open yet. So fortunately, they all have different expressions. It seems that H.J. and Barry have very similar ones, but the difference mainly is in the mouth there. His mouth is open, while H.J.'s is closed. So that's how they keep it different. They either change up the eyes, they change up the mouth, and then they kind of switch them all around and do a whole bunch of combinations. Here's how he looks next to Jackson Storm, the main antagonist next gen from the movie. Of course, Jackson is his own unique model. There aren't any other cars that share it. And just for fun, here he is next to JD McPillar, who is the third model of next gens after Jackson, and of course this kind of more bulkier version. They both have kind of like a similar purple bluish coloring, which is like why I'm not a huge fan of Barry, just because I don't know, his colors just don't really do much for me. I think he's my least favorite out of this pack. But anyway, on his hood there, he has this new RPM logo that has the kind of blackish blue in the background with this orange panel. RPM there with those 3 stripes. RPM are like, I think they make some sort of things that help you. I really don't know here. Nighttime backfire suppressant. So yeah, it helps you sleep better. Sorry, I blanked out on it there. Barry does not have a grill, unlike many other next gens, which symbolize a mustache. He has his vents down there. He has blue rims, which are pretty cool. White Lightyear text on the black tires there. His contingency sponsors are the Piston Cup Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy. And I like these colors here. It really looks like firing and fierce or whatever. I don't know. But you have like the yellow orange here with the exhaust pipes, and that arrow indicates to the pit crew where to lift Barry up at to change the tires. Then you have 64 there, although it is kind of hard to make out because the 6 doesn't like fully connect and the 4 doesn't either, but that is just kind of like the next gen effect. You have those 3 stripes again, kind of like purple in there. Just a lot going on. You have the gas cap, 64 there, roof flaps, more purple. You have like red back here, so really colorful on the sides. This side is the exact same. His spoiler is very similar to the hood. Looks pretty cool though. And I do believe it is like the same spoiler design as Danny Swervez here. Yep. And also the same as Steve Slick LePage. Maybe slightly different, I can't really tell on that one. And looks to be the same as Flipped Over. Let's get some focus here. Flipped Over, the intersection one. And on the back here you can see RPM again. I like how the R is in white and PM is in orange because obviously it's nighttime backfire suppressant. So PM meaning the night. And then you have 64 on the opposite side with the white arrows or stripes, I should say, symbolizing the backfire that RPMs apparently suppress. And here is the base if you're interested in that. Nice, nice, nice. Whoa, so bright. That's better. Alright, so let's compare him to his fellow RPM racers. You can see how much the branding has evolved. I mean, Bruce, he probably started racing around like 2010, maybe 2011. And still, that is just like 6 years. And it went from being like this kind of really bold, big lettering with the backfire coming out of the R to very small blue lettering there with just 3 simple stripes. No like smoke or curls to these stripes at all. And obviously a lot more blue now. Pretty much they got rid of all the yellow. Now, I have to say I do prefer Bruce over Barry. But let me know in the comment section below which RPM racer is your favorite out of the 3 that we have here. I know a lot of people like Barry. I'm just personally not much of a fan of him. So there is the evolution after 11 years. Let's get them in order here, that would make more sense. If you'd like to see my review of Bruce Miller, links in the description below. He came out several months ago, and Amazon or online exclusive 10-pack, so a little hard to get. But yeah, just look how hard or how different like the change is. Or the branding, you know what I'm saying? The logos and everything. It's ridiculous. Wow. Which is a good thing though, you know, you want change. Change is always good, and it makes sense that businesses are going to change up how they publicly present themselves. But I feel like this is one of the biggest changes we've seen. I mean, you just lost all the yellow and replaced it with a metallic purplish blue. So pretty insane there. But very, very nice. Alright, so let's bring in the whole team RPM. Of course, we have the hauler that matches Winford's paint job, along with a Pity Petro Pulaski, who is one of my favorite Pitties actually. We have stack of tires, we have the tool cart, and of course, the crew chief, who was not named. And if you just heard a noise there, it's because I accidentally kicked something down below my table, so oops on that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video of Barry DePedal. I feel like this shot really exemplifies what I was trying to say. You can see how everything's yellow. It's a sea of gold and yellow. Then Barry's there in the middle, just all blue. It's almost like he's a different sponsor entirely, but he's not, and it's still pretty cool to see such a big change. So I'll see you guys next time for another video. It'll probably be my Dud Throttleman variation video. And happy Martin Luther King Day, by the way. I do plan on getting this out on the Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'm off from school because of him, and I just want to take the time to appreciate his efforts in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.